am no expert on DC Comics, but I do love a good movie. And then I love to reflect on said good or bad movie. So today I'm giving you my review of the latest Superman film. Now, I had heard going into it that it was suspected to be very woke, that there were rumors of heavy political messaging, which I now think was kind of oversold on both sides. But I decided to not read into that any further beforehand because I wanted to truly go into the movie with a clean slate. And that is what I did. So light spoilers ahead. I honestly, I don't think I spoil anything, but just in case you're super sensitive. Now, overall, I enjoyed the movie. It sucked me into a different world for a few hours, packed with a theater of fellow Americans enjoying said imaginary world, and we all just sat there and enjoyed a classic American flick. Now, I do wish that there were at least a couple of scenes in which Superman wasn't the one getting rescued, because it seemed to be happening more often than not. But overall, though, for me to love a movie, it has to be a little bit cheesy, has to be a little bit corny. It must end on a positive note, which it had all of that, so it was good. Now, granted, there were no American flags flying alongside our beloved hero like there were in the olden days. However, I still felt that the movie had several takeaways that represented strong virtues and morals that represent the American spirit, and had many important lessons that were modeled in our beloved Superman. So I'm going to give you my rapid-fire thoughts directly from my notes app that I took right after watching the movie. First of all, it was pro-America. Superman, who could have grew up in any other spot on the earth and could have turned into any other kind of evil villain, grew up in a small town in Kansas, and it was those virtues instilled in him that made him take the hero path instead. So, Americana through and through from the jump. Next thought. Journalism can be a weapon/tool that brings down even the most formidable of enemies. Also, with that, the power of public perception is very real and can turn on a dime. And social media and bots, like the bots in the movie, are powerful tools to perpetuate said hate or love. And as someone who studied journalism and loves a character like Lois Lane, we know that journalists can do great good when they harness that power in the name of truth. But also, they can do great harm when they don't treat that weapon carefully. And then, of course, there is also the fact that journalists are humans who can kiss their sources, so vet them all accordingly. Heck, even Superman found himself in a situationship for an extended period of time. So be clear communicators and don't be like Superman in that respect, because they were dating for like 3 months and she didn't know what they were. Like, come on, Superman.
Hey, quit messing around.
I'm not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
Another takeaway, megacorps control aspects of the world and use people like pawns. We all agree with that. Also, arms dealing is globally destructive and full of evil. Yep. Big corps and big figures can pretend to care about saving the planet. Meanwhile, they participate in its total destruction as it's literally being sucked into a black hole, i.e. Lex Luthor. They pretend to save the planet when really they do the opposite. Where have we heard that before? I feel like that happens, unfortunately, all too often.
How dare you?
And then you have middle American Ma and Pa, who raised the Superman. And their love is still what he needed even at his lowest moments. Simple, honest, good Americans. We need more of those. Clearly, they raise up Supermans. Also, there were very obvious themes in adoption and how incredible it is. Also, the value of fatherhood. That was all very prevalent in this movie. Heck, I kept laughing at one point because it almost felt pro-baby. There was a cute/creepy green baby on the screen for probably a solid 5 minutes while Superman had an entire fight sequence holding another man's most precious gift, his child. His green little child. But in that same vein, talking about family, and specifically with Superman and his birth parents, there was a clear message that bad parents don't define you. You don't have to become like your parents, and you get to make the decisions for yourself as who you will be in the world. Parents are there to guide and help, but at the end of the day, it's your decision. Another theme, cloning, bad. Genetically modifying humans, science/tech nerds playing God, bad. And lastly, on my list of takeaways, not all blonde influencers are as dumb as they appear. Coming from a formerly blonde sort of influencer type, take note of that. Now, my list of positive takeaways could frankly go on, and I was even looking for overtly political messaging, and frankly, there was nothing obnoxiously woke about it. But I should say there was one overtly political moment, and it was the time when there was a joke said in the movie that even Lex Luthor was the villain that both liberals and conservatives could agree to hate, which the room collectively laughed at, myself included. I was like, yeah. We all hate this guy. Speaking of superheroes that need super strength, let's talk about superfoods that you need to make sure that you are living your healthiest, most balanced diet, and that is with Balance of Nature. Balance of Nature is the most convenient dietary supplement to ensure that you get a whole variety of fruits and vegetables in every single day, especially if you're focused on creating a healthier and happier lifestyle. Nature is pretty good at giving us all the nutrients we need through our fruits and veggies. So Balance of Nature takes fruits and vegetables, they freeze dry them, turn them into a powder, and then put them into a little capsule. And then you can take your fruit and veggie capsules every day, and your body knows exactly what to do with them because they are just fruits and vegetables. Balance of nature is just one part of a balanced lifestyle and has no intention to replace a healthy diet, exercise, sleep, or any other healthy habits. It's intended to be used in concert with those other healthy habits. Just like Superman's special eye vision is just one of his many superhero skills. Now, I love my Balance of Nature because I can take those capsules with me when I'm on the road, and I know that I'm getting my daily fruits and veggies in through those capsules. So if you guys want to give Balance of Nature a try, you can go to balanceofnature.com and use promo code Conrad for 35% off your first order as a preferred customer, plus you'll get a free bottle of fiber and spice. That's balanceofnature.com, promo code Conrad today. Get those healthy nutrients into your body. Be strong and courageous like Superman. On the drive home from the theater after the movie was over, I felt satisfied. I wrote up my little notes app list of takeaways and just felt happy that I had a lovely date night evening with my husband watching an entertaining blockbuster film. But unfortunately, once my fun of enjoying something before the internet ruins it for me, I eventually took to the internet to see what all of the fuss was about online because I knew that it was brewing. The liberals seemed to love it because they saw it full of overt political messaging involving everything from Trump with his deportation of illegal immigrants because, well, Superman is an alien. Also, he literally is an alien. To Putin, to Netanyahu, they ate it up. And then I saw clips like this from Fox News where they were calling it super woke and this iconic hero movie to embrace pro-immigrant themes, and it was all like, watch out, it's gonna be super crazy and woke. I just saw that and I rolled my eyes, okay? We can't use the word woke too much. If we start saying everything's super woke, it just loses its meaning, okay? And this guy said, super woke, the country is so cooked. Yeah, if we're calling that super woke, I'm sorry. No, that just makes them feel so boomery. Like, oh, Fox News is... Guys.
There's a few moments where I was like, okay.
Like, there's always going to be those moments. And that's sort of what is the takeaway from any movie. Like, no, there wasn't anything overt, unlike what we are used to, because I've become acclimated to just getting the woke just bashed over my head where I can't even pretend like I don't see it. But in the case of this movie, there was a certain level of artistic ambiguity in a sense that gives people on all sides the ability to pull from the movie what they want and what they don't want. And frankly, that's what I think good art does effectively. Like we were saying, so yes, you could watch some of those moments and be like, okay, the liberals are gonna eat that up. But also, I can watch the baby moment of Superman holding the little baby and be like, wow, pro-baby. We can take what we want from it. That's the beauty of it. When you can't do that, that's when it really ticks people off because then you can go super woke because it's so blatant. So this one wasn't blatant. And I'm glad. Also, regarding the deportation, like the illegal immigrant stuff, he was a baby. He was adopted into a family. Therefore, he lives as an American citizen. He acclimates to our society and is proud to be a member of our society. That's a huge thing to note, too. Like, he was proud to be an American. He was proud to serve his country. And then whenever anyone thought he was an outsider, he quickly was like, no, I'm not, and here's why, and here's how. Like, there was good in that. There's like a good takeaway from that as well. He didn't do what his family was like, go create a harem of women and start procreating and like take over the country. That's not what he's doing.
That could be even seen as a little bit woke, where they're like turning his parents into
bad people. But I was waiting for them to take the bumpkins from Kansas and try to make them bad people. And the fact that they didn't was like, okay, we're tracking. Because I was waiting. My brain is trained to look for woke rudeness. And so I was expecting them to try to paint his ma and pa in a certain light. My husband and I were talking about this further because I was asking these questions. Like, did you feel this? Did you think this in real time? Like, as I was going through the internet. And he actually mentioned this thing that he had heard on Part of My Take with Rob Mack, who is one of the stars from Always Sunny. And in that interview, he mentioned how, as an actor, and also he's the writer of Always Sunny, or one of the writers, he said how he gets people from different sides of the aisle coming up to him and being like, oh, you're so good at coming after blank, meaning coming after the woke people or coming after the libs. And his whole point is like, we're coming after everybody. The point is that you can take from it what you want. And so I wanted to just show that clip because I thought it was interesting. And again, it shows what good art can do, that everyone wants to watch for their own reasons, which isn't a bad thing.
Sometimes someone will come up to me and say like, oh man, like I love how you come at the conservatives and it's like such a progressive show. And I'm like, really? Is that what you think it is?
Yeah.
And then I'll go into like a conservative part of the country and people will be like, man, how do you even live in LA when you're like killing the lefties like on your show? And I'm like, really? Is that what you think it is? Because that is what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're basically looking at the entirety, the complexity of Western culture, American culture, and we're satirizing all of it.
Yeah.
Thankfully, though, because of the vague nature of the woke director's attempts to make any real obvious statements, and personally having read nothing else on the internet prior, and also having no prior knowledge, really, of Superman lore, I left the theater with my previously mentioned list of takeaways from the movie happy and entertained, not feeling bashed over the head with political messages that suck me out of the make-believe world that we were in. And for that, I am pleasantly surprised. It's also nice to know that people didn't leave the theaters being filled with evil messaging or lessons that would make them a worse person. Rather, it was things like this. This guy said, "This scene made me want to be a better person." And this was just Superman with his dad. Wholesome. That moment was like very, again, pro-fatherhood, shows the importance of a good father in a man's life. Great. I agree. Wholesome. Another guy posted 2 scenes of the movie where they were really hoping that Superman would come and save them. And he said, this would have been goated if somehow Superman showed up, which I agree. But then I saw this point and I thought it was a good kind of takeaway. The point of this scene is that Superman not only inspires hope in people, but that he inspires other people to do the right thing. He's the reason those other heroes act. And it's better that he's not the only person they have to rely on now, which I thought was cool. That kind of summoning of Superman actually summoned other heroes that came and saved the day because Superman was not able to do everything. So it forces other people to step up when you see other people doing good in the world. Heroes inspire heroic behavior. What was that cheesy line that he gives? It's like, maybe it's the real punk rock. Everyone loved that line.
You think everything and everyone is beautiful, to which Superman responds, maybe that's the real punk rock.
I was like, cheesy and thing, but then I'm actually, the more I thought about it, then I thought, that is kind of cute.
I like that line too. Made me smile when I heard it. I was like, all right.
Yeah, again, I saw a lot of those memes of just people like the warmest smiles as they're watching, like me in the theater. That's what it felt. That's what it felt like. And so I am glad I went to see it, and I hope that you guys go and enjoy it as well. And then let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the movie too. Thanks so much for watching today's episode. If you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video if you enjoyed it. For other content, you can also follow me on Instagram and X, as well as our brand new comment section Instagram. I'll see you guys in the next episode.